India has 10 million Kirana stores in rural areas. Unattended and disconnected from traditional distribution networks. This leaves traditional store owners dependent on big city for procuring goods for their stores. Meet Suraj, a Kirana store owner in rural Maharashtra. Up until a couple of years back, his monthly routine demanded a day-long trip to Pune to procure goods for his store. For thousands other like him, the reality is not far different. This was both time and cost ineffective and restricted only to limited products.
जेवढं दिवसातून कमवतो ना तेवढं सामान घेऊन येण्यासाठीच ते खर्च होतात
और किसी के भरोसे दुकान छोड़ के भी नहीं जा सकते.
Elastic Run has been changing the scenario for both. Through its asset-light logistics network and by aggregating multiple brands on its platform, Elastic Run has made doorstep delivery possible in rural villages. Store owners can order goods from the comfort of their store with direct pricing and discounts from brands.
Elastic Run is redefining the rural reach for FMCG brands in India. Most of the brands have been able to reach 1 or 2 million urban stores till now. Elastic Run has built a technology that extends this reach into the deepest parts of the country, and it would be able to cover almost 10 million stores across length and breadth of the country. This reach has been made possible through the aggregation and the shared economy technology developed by Elastic Run. Till date, we have been able to reach 100,000 plus villages in the country, covering a network of 500,000 plus stores.
Elastic Run Tech has found great technology partner in Microsoft Azure. Its technology deployment has become seamless and scalable. Over a period of time, Elastic Run has gathered an immense amount of data. Based on its data, Elastic Run's AI and ML engines are continuously learning and making the platform leaner, faster and smarter with every additional transaction.
Elastic Run's technology innovations are creating a positive impact on the lives of rural consumers by enabling access to life-enhancing products and services. We have increased the earning potential of rural stores by making the right products available at their doorstep. It has created livelihood opportunities for our partners, and they now have access to significant earning opportunities without moving away from their villages. Elastic Run is a network of opportunities, a network of possibilities.
This is the real freedom. Freedom of doing business. Freedom of growing business. Freedom of seeing a better tomorrow.
The whole concept here that I want to speak about is internet and commerce. So how is it that internet actually brings in the commerce element? And I just had one of my friends speaking about do one thing and do it very, very right. So what is it that's really gathered this momentum for Elastic Run? And what is the story of a startup which is based out of Pune, run by three founders, and what is the history and how has it progressed? Because this product was established in year 2016. So this is our Pune office. I have a lag in the, I'll say next slide, if you can. It's lagging. Yeah, thank you. So the Elastic Run is founded by three founders, Sandeep, Kshitij and Saurabh. Very, very approachable and very clearly taking the directions forward. Sandeep is an ex-Amazon person who has actually built in the entire Amazon's last mile delivery model. You have Kshitij, who actually has worked in the DHL and given a technology-based logistics solution, and Saurabh. And one of the common elements and the threads that come in is optimal logistics, giving value to the last mile delivery. That's the entire project that which we have started working on. And that is how, next slide please. we came about the opportunity that the B2B e-commerce platform for rural India is approximately 600 million. Now we want to talk about reaching the next 10 million Kirana stores, but the fundamentals are that none of the FMCG organizations have the wherewithal or the ROI value to reach, primarily because if you see rural and urban India, and the kind of consumption behavior is patterned at a 50-50 ratio on the value, the population matrix is 30% urban and 70% rural. So there is a lot of geography which is spread out, which is sparse, and it's very difficult for any FMCG startup to come across and say that it can be unilateral in its delivery model and still make money. Finally, galle mein paisa aana hai. And it will never come unless you actually have a certain amount of system or a certain amount of real value proposition where the entire basket funnels in to give a right kind of bill value or bill amount. If that is not happening, even the biggies like Hindustan Lever or Procter & Gamble will not be able to make money, neither will they have the wherewithals to actually supply. That is where the wholesalers come into the picture, but wholesalers have their own methodology and track to succeed. You cannot talk about any kind of experimentation with regards to distribution. Therefore, that is the USP that we have, that if we create a model which actually is an aggregated model, has the optimal logistic cost and delivers in the most optimal way, which is next to the best and cannot be so easily replicated, then we are absolutely there. And the intelligence towards the optimal logistic cost is derived through Deep Reach, which is the cutting-edge technology platform. Technology is machine first. The thinking which actually drives in the machine should be human. So this is the B2B e-commerce platform for rural India. And this is the kind of shop that we are targeting. And this is the kind of turnover of the shop. This is the kind of livelihood that we actually are seeking. And when we started it out, we now will explain about what exactly did they do. Next slide, please. So currently, we are completely unlocking a direct reach to 10 million rural Kirana stores. And when we say rural, we don't even talk about the district headquarters. We talk about rural, which is much beyond the district headquarters. We will have a hub and spoke model where a CFC worth around 1 lakh square feet will be available in the district headquarters, covering 10 kilometers away from the district headquarters. So you actually can see a real rural, which can be clearly understood and estimated that this particular person likes to stay in that particular area, and his time is quite different the way he manages than the time of a urban commuter. So therefore, we have our businesses in 4 pillars. The first pillar is FMCG, where we're powering FMCG brands to reach Kirana stores directly. The second pillar that we have is to give credit. If there is there any financial remodeling where we can actually mechanize a credit monitoring system and a credit system to such kind of rural consumers who do not have any collaterals to give to their banks, but can be actually appreciative in the fact that they do a lot of transactions and they live a life which actually is cash rich and has the potential to deliver a lot of viability and equity when they actually have this support of credit. So therefore, credit comes into picture. This is also from Elasticon. Then comes the e-com. We are talking about the direct D2C logistical model, whether it's for Flipkart, Amazon, Meesho, or JioMart. We actually have a model which is partnered with the D2C and the marketplace model to deliver it to the consumers. We are the top 3 top D2C suppliers in the logistic partners to Amazon, Flipkart, Meesho, and all the D2C partners. This is another business model. And the 4th business model is direct seed to source, which is a comics business model. So the majority of businesses, when you transition yourself from an urban Kirana to rural Kirana, the grocery share keeps growing up. So if we can actually create a model which is from seed to smoke, which technically means that the model can be done right from the miller to cost optimization to delivery model, right to the end Kirana stores, which is a C and D class Kirana stores, that will give you an optimization of bill value, and therefore you become very important to that. These are the 4 pillars of our business. Next slide, please. So coming to this connect, we have a technology platform which will connect FMCG, finance, commodities, general merchandise, e-commerce, pharma, and utilize this cloud source technology and become asset light to ensure that we deliver it to the rural consumer. Next slide, please. So what do we do, which is directly a win-win situation to the companies who want to distribute their products and to the customers who want those products of the companies. And they find that it is very difficult to reach to the wholesaler because it is a very one-sided business where the range cannot be managed or mapped. So we help the brands go to reach Indian customers. We help national brands go deeper. We help the regional brands go national. We help bank and finance institutions to access new set of customers. And definitely we help e-commerce companies to give up new service locations. Next slide, please. The technology that powers the Elastic Run platform. Please, next slide. So let's look into the entire universe of who our consumer is or who our customer is. The consumer comes to the customer, and if I can take care of the customer and do a 360-degree overview of the customer and understand his environment, that is when I can actually give him viable solutions with a single source of technology product, which can be asset light in the model. So let's begin with number one. The thinking by machine and execution by that's the technology that we actually are thinking. The thinking of machines, so bring in algorithms which actually optimizes the demand forecasting. Bring in absolute algorithms which understand the unique USP of consumer habits by that particular district or that particular group or cohort of villages. The second part is demand aggregation. Speak with the suppliers who actually are experts in manufacturing of the products to ensure that this particular demand is aggregated, and look into the turnaround time to ensure that the supply is being managed and what exactly will be the last mile delivery option. The third part, of course, when you have something like this, the companies will come. So that goes without saying that we actually have our engine platforms where we speak to the companies that these are the areas of distribution, these are the joint business plans that we can actually drive together. The fourth is credit, and the fifth is data. The data is required by the companies to understand their kind of experimentation, sampling. For example, a classic case my friend had told about sampling. We can actually look into that particular data, or we can even look at the intrinsic behaviors of that particular geography to that particular product. And this is what gives the companies a wherewithal and a technological edge with that information to actually bring in new strategies to grow sales. Next slide, please. It's the same thing that I said. The industry-leading ops quality, we actually cover 99% of Six Sigma day closure. We have best-in-class operating costs. That is why one particular thing, do it right, do it smart, do it something which is not at all copyable in a very easy way. And 42,000 villages with 600 stations getting covered with 20,000 partners. Next slide, please. So just look into it this way. This is the shared fulfillment engine, which is a warehouse. A distributor with his ROI and ready stock unit or order taking capacity can cover only the dark green. Then there is a van route which happens once in 15 days or once in a week to cover the entire rural villages. Elastic Run goes beyond that. And then we have a D+1 delivery supply model, which is very consistent to the fact that we also know the retailer's behavior of his previous purchase and previous sales and previous demand forecast. So long distance is covered, small demand size, and dedicated fixed cost. This is what we actually cover through an aggregated model, which will have optimal logistic cost that gets derived through technology. Next slide, please. So we Uberize the whole concept. Long distance, small demand size, dedicated fixed cost. Please ensure that it is asset light. We have a group of entrepreneurs who actually ensure the supplies are made. There's a group of entrepreneurs who actually go about selling. And then we have the Elastic Run platform, which collates all of this on a cloud-based platform. Next, please. So as I have already explained to you, the whole technology design actually eliminates entire kind of channel conflict. So in Kannauj, you actually have a distributor covering Kannauj. Outside Kannauj, this is where we actually will cover. The Elastic Run will cover this particular village, which will actually take care, number one, of there is no channel conflict. Number two, the ROI that we actually derive from this aggregated model is much more sustainable for the companies through their negotiations and whatever supplies that they can give. And number three, this will be for the long term. So everybody is happy in all the three matrices. Next. So what do we do now? Currently, we have 34 central fulfillment centers in 28 states. We have spoke warehouses, 280, and these keep changing. 320 to 280 is what we have, because we see the optimal cost optimization of the warehouse. After 3 to 4 months, we always do a review of the warehouse. The spoke warehouse will be around 6,000 to 8,000 square feet. The hub and spoke model, The vendors supply to the central fulfillment center, which takes care of the average bill value or the monthly operating quantity or the minimum order value. All the three areas have been taken care, and then it goes to the kirana. The economy of scale, higher order density, improved availability, and optimized cost, with the data backup that we actually give to the organizations. Next, please. I've already spoken some of the testimonials here. You can see that the inventory and cash rotation of the retailer has improved by 20% because he actually has certain cash to give it across instead of going to the wholesaler and wasting his entire 1 day or 2 days to actually go to the district headquarters, go to 3 to 4 different wholesalers and then buy, and the whole day is wasted. Second, his store assortment goes by 6 to 8%. He's willing to experiment from his 100 rupees, 8 to 10 rupees, and then he actually says that the elastic contribution to his entire business is 30 rupees. Next slide, please. So our journey so far, a very simple journey. We have 2018, we have the eB2B rollout, 20,000 outlets, and by now we actually are covering 3 lakh outlets. And the entire journey is done by marquee investors, and as on February 2022, we had a $1.5 billion business opportunity. So this is what I would like to highlight to you, and therefore would invite any questions if there is to my side when I'm available across. Thank you.